Alright guys, how's it going? This is the beginning of a new thing I'm trying. After doing some research, and my boss even doing it, I'm going to be trying the 7-day bulletproof fast. Basically the way this works is, you don't eat. You don't eat. You have a bulletproof coffee in the morning or two, just to get yourself going, and you just go the rest of the day. Now this diet is originally from a Dr. Jason Fung from, by the looks of it, Toronto, Ontario. And he does a lot of work on low carb diets and keto. And he works with a lot of people. And he talks about fasting and the benefits of fasting and why fasting is not as bad as you think. Like a lot of people say that if you fast for more than 3 days, your body just shuts down, which is, after his explanation on it, and it made complete sense, no, your body does not shut down. Your body is designed to be able to fast for a limited amount of time. Like the record right now for somebody fasting is 382 days. 382 days without food, because our bodies apparently are just refrigerators and freezers. And I love the analogy he gave for that. Basically is like you go to your fridge for food all the time, you barely ever go to the freezer because the fridge is kept right here in the kitchen where the freezer is kept in the basement, and it's just easier to go to the fridge to get food, which is your carbohydrates. The fridge is your carbs. The freezer is your fats. So you go to the fridge all the time to get your carbohydrates and your food, when you go to the freezer only when there's nothing in the fridge, because it's just an inconvenience. So I say this is going to be an interesting challenge for me, especially going into starting it off on the weekend that I'm starting it off on, where I got to go into work for 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and all I'm allowed to have is 1 or 2 bullet coffees in the morning, and then after that I'm not allowed to eat anymore until the next day. A lot of you have been talking about it in the audience, saying, Adam, try intermittent fasting. Try fasting. Give it a try. And I think somebody did mention Jason Fung's name. I know my boss brought it up because he did it for a week. Sorry guys, I just literally woke up, grabbed the camera, came downstairs. He tried it, and he said the hardest part is the first day. He goes, if you can get over that first day hump, the rest of it is a cakewalk. So I'm gonna go ahead and weigh myself now. Let's see what my starting weight is. We're starting off at 270.2 pounds. Keep in mind I am holding a camera. Bulletproof coffee down the hatch. The other thing Jason Fung talks about is the fact that people who've been doing a ketogenic diet for a little bit and who have been able to get over the keto flu and such have a better chance of succeeding on this diet, for the key reason that a lot of us aren't really eating that many calories to begin with, because we kind of trained our bodies to run off of less calories than normal. So I'll share that video with you guys, the one that I'm talking about. Some of you out there may be interested in watching that too, just to get a little bit more science behind the whole theory. It makes a lot of sense. Here's another tool that I found. This guy here will measure your body fat. So we'll turn it on, and I am on here right here at 6.1. We'll just click on set, and we'll bring that down to 270.5. And we'll hit start, and then you just grab onto these handles and it'll do its thing, and it's going to measure the fat percentage. So my BMI is super high at 35.7 and my fat content is 31.9. Remember those numbers. Going around my belly button all the way around my back, turns out 49 inches. Let's see if that gets lower too over the next 7 days. Alright guys, it's time to bounce off to work. That BMI thing that I did for a test, just to get some more numbers, I'm only going to do that when I'm done the fast, so we can compare the before and after results and just see how it works. See if it went down, if it stayed the same, if it went up. We'll check it in 7 days, but every day I'll be doing a weight check. We'll mark it down. I don't expect much weight loss, and we'll see how this ends after 7 days, and if I can go longer. Because if I can go longer, I might go longer, but we'll see how we play out. Anyway, I'm off to work. I'll be home in 12 hours. I'll talk to you guys then. Hey guys, I'm back from work. Probably wondering how I'm feeling. Well, right now, I feel like I gotta take a piss. I drank a lot of water today. Needed that. How am I really feeling? Well, let's just say today was a rough one. So I get into work and another coworker is there, and I'm like, what are you doing here? And he's like, oh, so-and-so was off today. He had a family emergency and sent out an SOS to see if he could get somebody to cover his shift. Now you're probably thinking, why would that affect anything? Well, this individual really likes to eat whatever he can get his hands on. And the problem is he's one of those guys where he can go to McDonald's 5 days a week and he still weighs 120 pounds. I know there's some of you out there in the audience that are exactly the same, and I envy you. This boy can't do that. So, for lunch, he decides to go to the local pizza shop, which is just around the corner from work, pick himself up a large pepperoni pizza. His intent was he was going to share it with me. Hey, nice guy, right? He's going to share pizza with me. Didn't even ask him, nothing. Comes back and he's like, hey, I got us a pizza for lunch. And I'm just like, shit, how am I going to break the news? Like, I feel bad now. Like, he went out and he bought a large pizza and I just started project fasting, so I kind of can't. So I explained to him, I says, you know, thanks and all, but I can't eat that. Like, and he's like, oh, right, you're doing that keto. I forgot. I said, well, kind of, sort of, but I've taken it to a new extreme. Sorry, there's a moth on the wall and it must die. Got him. I'm sitting there and all I can smell is this delicious, greasy pepperoni, tomato paste, cheese. And of course, now my body's getting hungry. So I made myself a green tea. Chug-a-lug. Green tea's got some ECCGs in it or something like that. That helps suppress the hunger. It worked really, really, really well. So now my hunger's under control. I'm like, awesome. And then whenever my hunger count got a little out of line, I started pacing the office back and forth. It wasn't that crazy of a day today, so got a lot of steps in. Here's the Fitbit stats from today. Check that out. So you can see I've done a lot of steps. We're sitting well over 13K in steps. Got well over 3,000 calories burnt. I got my floors climb done. You know, all I got to do is hit 3,600 calories and everything's green across the board. I've never done that in all my time. I've noticed something with fasting, that when you get a hunger strike, it's usually because you're being lazy, you're not moving, you're not doing anything. You're sitting in front of the television or you're bored. And it's like your body's natural response. You're bored. Maybe you should ingest some food. And then it kicks you into that hunger mode and makes you think of all the delicious stuff that you have. And, you know, it's like knowing that I got pork rinds downstairs and I got chicken in the fridge and I got, no, not in the fridge, in the freezer. And I got those burgers in the freezer and I got the stuff to make the keto burger buns. Just knowing that will give you the hungries. So you got to occupy your mind. Do something to keep yourself stimulated. Problem is at work, there's not much I can do to keep me stimulated because you're there to work. So I pace. I go back and forth. I power run the office. That works great. That works really great. So after he devoured half the pizza, he realized that, you know, it's probably not good to leave it laying out because he knew what, I was like, man, like that smells so good. I wasn't really hinting, like, I don't know, I guess I was kind of hinting that he realized to stop me from being tempted, maybe he should pack up the pizza. So he decided to put it in the fridge. And he's like, yeah, I'll have that tomorrow or Monday night. Cool, okay, that's awesome, you know, thank you, appreciate it. Because, like, yeah, it was really tempted to say, you know what, scrap the video idea, I'm going to have me some frickin' pizza. At least one slice. Let's keep in mind, you guys don't know when this is going to come out. You don't know when I started, but it is Saturday. You can see here on my watch, there's the date and time, and that's synced to my phone. And my phone is synced to the clocks with my cell phone provider, so I can't really change the time on that thing. So I'm doing it. Okay. Was it rough today? Yes. Right now, how do I feel? I feel cloudy in my head. Like, it's not like when you get a sugar low or anything like that. It reminds me of when I first started using MCT oil and my head got really, I don't want to say foggy because I got pretty good focus right now. I don't really, like, I'm tired mainly because of all the walking I did today, and I'm kind of pacing right now, as you can tell. But I actually feel pretty damn good, pretty damn focused. So today's day 1 of 7. Now, I was doing some research on fasting today because my biggest question was, when I'm done, how do I break it? Because you got to be careful when you're fasting, right? Because your body's right now it's going to learn, or your digestive system, I should say, it's going to like go into hibernation mode. It's going to kick her down a notch and take a snooze while you're basically not consuming any food. So you can't break the fast by devouring a steak. You're going to shock your digestive system, and it's not going to be a good time. You got to do it in a soft manner. So I looked that up, and they recommend either some MCT oil or something along those lines, like some eggs, because eggs digest really easily. Some fish digest really easily. Some spinach digests really easily. It's food that your body will learn to use and use it right. So yeah, so that's my battle plan there, is when it comes time to break the fast, that's what I'm going to do. Now I'm trying to decide here, do I want to carry on with what I'm doing with having the bulletproof coffee in the morning and doing a fat-based fast? Or do I want to just say screw it? Because all I've had today was that bulletproof coffee this morning, 250 calories. Do I want to say screw it and just carry on with the water for the next 5 days? And that's the other thing is they actually recommend, well, for a guy like me who's starting off, they don't recommend you fast for 5 days off the hop. They recommend you build up to it. And I'm just kind of jumping in, head first, going right to the finish line. Is it a smart move? I'll keep an eye on myself. If I start feeling weird and stuff, okay, well, I'll break out of it and I'll recover. I'm pretty resilient like that. So far, so good. I weighed myself. I went and had a shower after I got home. And then I came upstairs and I got dressed in the same clothes I was wearing this morning. Yeah, this is the same shirt. It's my sleep shirt, my sleep pants. The old Guitar Heroes. And I went downstairs and I weighed myself. And as you can see, according to the scale, I've dropped a pound. Now, keep in mind, when I got home from work, I took a massive dump. Like, it was impressive. So obviously, the waste disposal system is still working. Or that was just waste that was there that is pumping out. So, from what I've gathered about fasting, is basically your body goes into a maintenance mode, as they say, phage mode or something like that. I can't remember the actual term, but what happens is your body starts cleaning out the dead cells. The not the bad proteins, but the garbage proteins, the damaged stuff. Rather than using fuel that you're bringing in that's fresh, now it's scrounging, so it's pulling out the fat reserves and burning that. It's pulling the glycogen out of the muscles and the fat and burning that. It's not going to burn the muscles. A lot of people think that's the case, but it doesn't burn the muscles. It actually targets all your stored fats. And I got a great video that I'm going to link at the bottom of this one here from a Dr. Jason Fung. He's the one who I watched a bunch of his content last night. My boss told me about him, and that's what made me make that comment on the vlog prior to this one about doing the fast. I read it through. I watched his videos. I watched a couple of videos, and the one that I'm linking down below is the one that made the most sense about fasting. And I was like, you know what? Maybe if more people read or seen this, they'd get an idea. Like, calories in, calories out, the Biggest Loser diet, it don't work. Like Jason says in his video, there's a reason why you never see a reunion of the Biggest Loser. It's because 6 months later, they've gained all the weight back. Because that's what happens when you do these calorie in, calorie out diets. They work. You'll lose the weight, but you're just going to gain it all back. And it's because calories is not a valid measurement. Your body doesn't know what the heck a calorie is. Your body doesn't have calorie receptors. Calories is something we invented for funsies. Your body has fat receptors, it has protein receptors, it has carbohydrate receptors. And when you eat carbs, what happens? Your body goes, oh, we got to burn some carbs. Time to kick up the insulin. Fat, you shut off. We're not going to use you right now. You go in this dormant mode. You stay back there. We're going to start burning these carbs. So insulin spikes, and then your body will no longer use fat. It's going to store it. It just won't use it. So if you want to burn the fat, you got to watch the carbs. The carbs at a low, and the fat will go. Makes sense. Everything he talks about in this video, it's just amazing. So I recommend checking it out. But I think that's going to be it for me on this day. We're not done with the video yet, guys. This is going to be a documentary, a fasting documentary, if you will. Not really a documentary because I don't know how to film those. Hell, half the time I don't even know how to film. That's why you're getting a shadow of a camera in my face. But we're going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to document my days of fasting. one of these days, probably on Monday or Tuesday, I'm going to try and work out and see if my performance takes a dive or if I can actually give her. But yeah, I did weigh myself and here are the results. This is what I pulled after my shower. I was still a little bit wet, but whatever. It looks like I went down maybe another, I'd say 3/4 of a pound. So that's pretty cool. But I'm more anxious to see what's going to happen on the 5th day and then the 7th. So I'm going to see how that goes because the 7th day will be a Saturday night. And I don't know, I might break the fast Saturday morning or Friday, or yeah, I'm thinking that's probably when, or Friday morning after I get up. So we'll go Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday I'm going to shut her down to see just what happens. And the reason for that is Saturday is a midnight shift, Sunday's my day off, and I kind of don't want to be fasting on that midnight shift. Depending on the results, I've been doing some other research on intermittent fasting, which is basically, a lot of people call it the OMAD diet, 1 meal a day. So you have your, wake up in the morning, you don't eat. The only problem with OMAD for me is my shift work. Like if you have a static schedule, OMAD can be amazing. If you don't have a static schedule, like me, OMAD can be a little bit challenging because you got to ignore times, and OMAD really depends on consistency. So what you got to do is when you wake up, you start your timing then. So if you're going to wake up, if you're going to go 16 hours between meals, let's say, or that's what Jason Fong talks about, 16 hours between meals or 18 hours between meals, then that's what you got to do. You got to ignore the timing and just go with your own. Anyway, we'll see you guys tomorrow and another weigh-in. Alright guys, peace the frig out. Oh hey guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day. Just making myself a coffee, cause I friggin' need one. It's gonna be freaking awesome. Guys, I've been doing some research on fasting, and I realized there's 2 kinds of fastings. There's actually a couple kinds. There's water fasting, which is apparently really dangerous. And then there's fat fasting, where it's good for keto people. Man, I need a new Keurig. Mine keeps doing this. It doesn't give me all my coffee. Piece of bunk. Alright, we'll try and top it up. So basically what I'm going to do today is have yet another bulletproof coffee. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go all day, like once again another 12 hours, without having another, I'm not going to eat today, like I have work. I'm just going to have my bulletproof coffee in the morning and go my 12 hours or whatever it is. You know what's sad, guys? I started this fast. A case of beer in the fridge and I can't even touch it. A case of beer and I can't even touch it. You know how taunting that is? It's super taunting. So guys, because water fasts are theoretically not supposed to be done for long, I'm going to switch it over to a fat fast. And that's originally what I wanted to do. The bulletproof fast is not the proper name for it. It's actually called a fat fast. The objective is to put you into deep ketosis, which I don't think I was in. Now, let me show you my weight today. This is where we're at. So this is me waking up in the morning. 267.6. I dig it. Day 2, and we're already down 3 pounds. Like I said, when I come out of this fast, I'm going to have to do it carefully. But we got ourselves our bulletproof coffee. And literally, that's all I'm having for breakfast. Let's head upstairs, pound down this. I'm going to try and make today not as long of a day as yesterday, as in on the mockumentary, or whatever you want to call it. But we'll see what happens. Anyway, let's get after it. Alrighty, people. Well, it's that freaking time where I got to pack up and head to work. So, got my phone, got my wallet, got my e-juice, got my dart. Oh, somebody probably wants to know, and I looked it up to make sure. Vaping does not affect your fasting. So I guess what I'm kind of doing is it's a fat fast. Intermittent fasting, because I did have a bulletproof coffee, which will take you out of your fasting in a soft, smooth way. Because literally all that's in there is MCT oil. And your body can easily process MCT oil and butter. So that's not a big deal. You know, it's not like you're eating a steak or something heavy like a pork chop or anything. So I guess I'm bouncing in and out of fasting, but I'm doing like an intermittent fast. That's basically what the bulletproof fast, or as people call it, the fat fast, basically is. Is it working so far? Well, we're down 3 pounds, and this is day 2. So we'll just keep going and see what the results are. I feel a lot better today, a lot more confident. So let's see what happens after 12 hours. See you guys at 7. I'm gonna tell you now, guys, fasting makes you hungry. And by hungry, I mean thirsty. It also makes this thing not work right, make you say things you don't mean. But you actually do mean them, because subconsciously all you're thinking about is food. So we had a little bit of downtime today at work, so I was like, well, you know what? I'm gonna do some research on this fat fasting. So I thought it was called bulletproof fasting. That's what my boss called it, because all he was drinking was bulletproof coffees. And I realized that fat fasting is, okay, the macros for it are pretty simple. 90% of your intake on your macros should be fat, and then 5%, well, 10% or 5% protein, whatever, and as low carbs as you can hit. So here are my macros for the day. I'll show you, meow. I am right in the zone, and the reason why there's protein in there is because I had a fat bomb. So that's all I've had today, a keto coffee and a fat bomb. So I'm at 1% carbs, 93% fat, 6% protein, and 392 in and 3,491 out. I don't think that's right. I'm pretty sure we're sinking right now. See that flashing thing up there, just above the battery signal? I gotta charge my watch. That's a sign that we are currently syncing with the Fitbit app. That's what I've done so far today. We'll wait till the sync completes. Any decade now. Okay, so we are green across the board again with 12,000 steps, 3,658 calories going, 5.7 miles walk, 68 minutes of exercise. Guys, I didn't do any cardio today. I didn't do any HIIT or nothing. This is just me pacing at a rapid rate at work during time when I was bored. Last night's sleep was about as good as it gets. Wasn't the greatest. Tonight we'll fix that. And tomorrow is going to suck for any outside activities. I was going to mow the lawn. Guess I'm not. We've drank 136 fluid ounces of water. Apparently 128, I believe, is a gallon. So we've hit our water mark, because you're supposed to drink about a gallon of water. I don't know why. You just are. So we're doing what we need to do. So I did some research today on the fat fast. Now that I knew what it was called, I knew it to Google. And the fat fast, basically the way it works is you want to eat, like I said, 90% of your calorie intake, 90% of that, of your macros or macronutrients, if you will, if you want to know the full term, should be fat. As low as possible carbs, 1 to 2%. Try not to exceed that. The rest protein. Now, some people think when you're burning fat, you're going to be burning muscle. Or sorry, when you're fasting, you're going to burn muscle. That is not the case. Your body's going to pull glycogen out of your muscles and use that there. Your body's going to find ways to pull protein out of fat stores and use that there. That's how your body works. You're not going to start burning muscle. That's a myth that Dr. Jason Fung proved already. I like this analogy. It's like, you got a fireplace and you went out to the wood shed and you grabbed some wood and you brought it in the house and you got it sitting in a wood box by your fireplace. Well, that's like saying you run out of wood in your wood box. Well, what are you going to do? Chop up the couch and throw it in the fire? No, you're going to go outside to the fat stores, also known as the wood pile, grab some wood and bring it in and fill your wood box, right? The couch is your protein. The wood box in the house is your ready available energy, your carbs, and your wood pile outside is your fat. You're not about to chop up the couch just to keep the fire going. You're going to go outside and get some frickin' wood. So apparently, like, the things you can eat on this diet are things I have been eating. Eggs. Eggs are allowed, mainly because they're high in fat and moderate protein. Like, what's the macro for an egg? I gotta check. I can't remember this shit. My job has me remembering way too much stuff. So let me just go into the plus here, log food. I'll find an egg, set you down to 1, hit nutrition facts. So 1 egg has 4 grams of fat, 0 carbs, and 6 grams of protein. So I guess I wouldn't recommend eating too many eggs, because you're going to get a lot of protein and that might cock over the program. But 1 egg won't hurt, and it's also easily digestible, so it's not going to really hurt your digestive system that's been kind of on vacation while you're fasting. The other thing you can have is fat bombs, because fat bombs are mainly fat. You might not want to have my protein kind, which is what I had, which is why I have the 1% protein, or the 6% protein on there. But whatevs. If you want, you can. I only had one of them, so that's all right. And you want to keep your caloric intake between 500 to 1,000. Okay, or basically below 1,000 calories. You don't want to go too crazy on the calories. Even though they say that caloric intake isn't valid for keto, it's still common knowledge that calories in versus calories out, you're going to lose weight. Because, if you're not eating food, theoretically, you're not putting extra mass into your body. The only option is for mass to leave your body. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna head downstairs and we're gonna go ahead and do a weigh-in. Now, as for water fasting, guys, that doesn't interest me. I know a lot of you out there say do it, but it's my life, and if I don't want to, I'm not gonna. Especially after what I read about all the things that water fasting can cause. And I'm not exactly a young spring pup. Like a lot of the videos I watched of people water fasting, they were in like their early 20s, maybe mid 20s, and I'm in my super late 30s, gonna be early 40s. So, no thank you, not interested. Let's get a weigh-in for tonight. So we're 267. Still, I think that's what we were this morning. Now the camera could be throwing it off. I also really have to piss. Okay, after dropping the Mississippi River in the friggin' toilet there, we're currently at 266.4. That was a lot of piss. See how much water weighs? Like, dude, I just hung a heavy piss and lost, what, 0.6 of a pound. So obviously your weight's gonna fluctuate. I'm only gonna do it for 5 days. I know I said 7, but you see the title of the video, the 5-day fat fast. The reason being is all the research I've done said do not prolong it past 5 days if it's your first try. Theoretically, they said if you're an amateur or new to fat fasting, 3 days, that's it. That's it. 3 days, call or quits. However, it won't hurt anything if you go for the 5. Do the 5 and then afterwards bring yourself back in. And then if you want to do intermittent fasting here and there, that's fine. But what you're supposed to use the fat fasting for is the exact problem I had. My weight loss plateaued back when, like for 3 weeks, I've been sitting around the 277, the 272 mark, and it's just been going up and down and just wouldn't break. So what fat fasting does is it breaks that because your body is a computer. Like back in the gym days when me and Angry Joe used to go to the gym and crank some weights, we used to do the same damn exercises on the same damn days, and it got to a point where we weren't making any gains. Like we weren't adding more plates to the rack. We weren't pushing any harder. We just physically couldn't. We couldn't figure it out. And then I bought Arnold's book. It's a really good book. I gotta find it. It talks about his story and him plateauing, building weight. And then he realized if I change up my exercise, all of a sudden I'm gaining again. Because the problem is your body is highly adaptable. You know, it is designed to adapt to conditions that occur. I.e., you might be a guy who works in a factory and you can lift some heavy weights all day. You're lifting axles and shit all day long, but you look fat and you don't show any definition. The reason being is because your body has physically adapted itself to those conditions and will provide you the ability to do that job as you keep doing it over and over and over again. That's the reason why it gets easy, But let's say you're lifting every day and you're doing the same motions. Then all of a sudden they put you on a different job where you got to lift differently. All of a sudden that part is like brutally hard. Well, now you're using a whole different way of doing it. So your body's like, whoa, I'm not ready for this. I can't do this. I got to readapt. So then your body will readapt and you'll learn. Well, with weightlifting, that's when I developed the program that every day we would go into the gym and we roll the dice. You're still targeting your legs, you're still targeting your back, you're still targeting your chest, you're still targeting your triceps, biceps, your forearms, you're still working every part of the body, your quads, your lats, your glutes, everything gets worked. But because you were doing a different exercise on each one of the runs, your body couldn't have time to adapt. You're always hitting it differently, so your body had no chance to adapt, so the gains were really noticeable. We were growing fast. I took Arnold's teachings and applied them to a more aggressive nature, and like Joe and I we were all of a sudden like pushing, like every time we go into the gym, we're upping it. Every week, we're upping our weight by 10 pounds. Every week. Adding 10 more to the rack and going. 10 more to the rack and going. And that's when he had me order them because he didn't have eBay. So I basically ordered a copy of the book. No, I think I got it from Amazon. Amazon or something like that. Some bookstore online. Maybe it was Kohl's. I can't remember. I don't think Amazon was around back then. But I ordered it online. I got his biography and I got his other book. And the guy, like a lot of people don't like Arnold. And I don't know why, because the guy's a brain. They're like, oh, he used steroids. And he explains that in his biography. But his book is really good. And I don't know. If you guys haven't seen the movie Pumping Iron, that right there shows you Arnold's sense of humor. It's Arnold's sense of humor all the way through that movie. Like, it's great. And that's what got me and my buddy Joe into the gym every day. And we would sit there and we'd talk like Arnold, be like,
I'd kick your ass right now, but I'm saving myself for the gym to blast my quads.
like we'd do stupid stuff like that.
I want to thank God, my parents, and the state of California.
You know, just doing like, that's how we were. That's what we were. And it was annoying in the gym. People really didn't like us. But that's okay because we kicked ass in there and it was a good time. But so far I'm happy with the results from this Fat Fast. I'm going to do it for 5 days. So Wednesday is my last day. Thursday I'm going to break the fast and then get back into a light meal. That's my last day before I go. Well, that's when I go back to work. I got a meeting at 4:30 with the school board that day for the project. After which I'm going to eat. And then that day will be, that night, I mean, when I go to work, I'm not going to eat. What I'm going to do on these night shifts coming up, I got a battle plan for intermittent fasting, is I'm going to have my meal at home before 8 o'clock, like say 7-ish, and then I'm not going to touch food until the next day when I wake up at around 2-ish. Usually I wake up at around 2, 3. I'll have my bulletproof coffee and then have a meal 4 hours later and then carry on. And we're going to do that there for the whole time that I'm on nights. So right now we're doing the Fat Fast and then I'm going to introduce intermittent fasting. And we're going to see, because I got to keep my body guessing. I was doing the same thing for too long and I'm pretty sure that's why I plateaued. So keep the body guessing, don't let it adapt, and results will be had. Anyway, people, I'm going to shut it down for today, pick it back up tomorrow, and we'll see what's going on in the morning. All right, guys, peace. Welcome to day 3 of the Fat Fast. So what's going on, people? Day 3 of the Fat Fast. Once again, we're going to do the same thing as yesterday. Wear yourselves in, make a BP coffee. Unlike yesterday and the day before, we don't have to work today. Nice. Come over this thing, climb on tour. Survey says 265.4. Here's a funny thing. This camera is throwing off my weight. With the camera in my hand, I'm 265.4. Without the camera in my hand, I don't have a tripod down here, do I? Except for that big one over there in the corner. I don't have the little one up here, do I? I really need to buy another little tripod. I had that black one and I can't find it. I have no idea where the hell it went. I used it down here when we made the pink fat bombs and MIA. Like, just gone. Oh well, whatever. Still down 5 point some odd pounds. Anyway, let's get that fat coffee going. Freaking want it. Here's something I've been doing while I've been at home. I've been drinking water and adding sea salt to it. Just 2 tablespoons to that big 52-ounce jug. I'll have 1 a day. Just to basically help boost the electrolytes in the system. Because, you know, you're not really eating any foods to create electrolytes and you're just drinking water, which flushes out a lot of minerals and stuff. So you can use the sea salt to help bring some sodium back in at least. And my multivitamin takes care of the rest. So that's good. So I also bought some of this for the fat coffees, or the bulletproof coffees. It's Desi Butter Ghee from Mississauga, Ontario. Basically grass-fed creamer used for butter. Pure clarified butter. And the macros on it are a lot cleaner than butter. So there's no carbohydrates, no proteins, it's just pure fat. That's what we want in a bulletproof coffee. Just thought I would show this before I mix it. Look at how much the ghee and the MCT oil have separated. And that's 1 tablespoon of each from the coffee. Like, this is the reason why you need a blender when making bulletproof coffees, and you can't just do it with a spoon or a whisk. It's just not the same. All the oil doesn't get blended in, and yeah, you need that. Bulletproof coffee. Oh yeah. Alrighty, well, the coffee's down the hatch. That's all said and done. I've got that taken care of. And something I can actually say I've noticed about the BP coffee with the ghee is it has a sharper taste. As in a bit more bitter. Probably because the butter that I used before on the bulletproof coffee is salted. Now, I don't know how many of you guys out there do percolated coffee through, like, you know, my machine down there, I don't even know what brand it is. But you know, the big, where you put the friggin' paper filter in, you put your grounds in, you put the water in the compartment in the back, turn it on, and it drips coffee, perks it. Well, when I make coffee like that, I always add a pinch of salt to the grinds. And the reason being is Dad actually showed me this, and I think Grandma or Grandpa used to do it back in the day, and that's because they drink the coffee black. They don't add creamer, they don't add sugar, they just pour it out, perk it, pour it into a cup, and down the hatch. And what the salt does is it takes away that bitter acidicness of the coffee. The butter, what the salt does is it takes away the bitterness and the acidicness of the coffee, and it just makes it more flavorful, and it doesn't give you that heartburn, gut rot effect. And the problem with a Keurig is you can't really do that because the pockets are already sealed, right? You're just literally dropping a pocket or a pod into your machine, slamming the lid, pressing the button, it farts out a coffee in like 2 minutes. So that's a bit of a thing to work around. And I noticed with the ghee, it actually had that acidic taste still because the ghee is not salted. It's just straight up grass-fed, purified, buttered goodness. And I tried a little bit of the ghee. I grabbed my tablespoon after I made my coffee and I put a little bit on there and I put it in my mouth and tasted it, and it just tasted like nothing. There was no flavor. It was just nothing. So, okay, that explains it. It's just pure fat. It is what it is. I noticed in the coffee it gave it more of an acidic taste, and it changed the way the taste of the coffee was. I'm not saying it was bad. I'm just saying I didn't drink it as fast as I normally drink it because it was different. So it's something I'm going to adapt to. And then gradually I'm going to adapt to it. I'm going to run out of ghee and be in a bind, and I'm going to use butter again. And I'm going to be like, whoa, this is so much better, or this is different and weird. You know, it is what it is. You know, I probably don't want to be doing ghee too much because that stuff is not cheap. It's like $7.99 for that jar. $8 for that jar. But it should last me a while because I'm only going to use it in coffee. They say you can cook with it. You can use it as a butter replacement on your sandwiches and stuff. But I'm just literally going to use it for my bulletproof coffees just to get the fat benefit and keep the carbs down as much as possible. So I have my bulletproof coffee. I noticed that since I started doing the salt water, drinking the salt water, I've been getting cramping a lot. And even when I was just doing keto, cramping a lot because of electrolytes. And I've been trying to supplement with like these things here. Well, not this one in particular. This is just flavoring. But you can buy these, and I'm out of them now. I don't have any of them left on my desk. But they're electrolyte infused. They're high in sodiums. And they're the, what is that stupid brand? Mio. They're Mio sport drink, and they're zero across the board, zero carbs, zero, and they're sweetened with, unfortunately, dextrose, which will cause an insulin spike. I haven't been using these, by the way, on the fat fast. I haven't been using these. I do believe these are sweetened with dextrose. I'm going to need the camera to read this. Okay, so I don't see what. Oh, sucralose. There you go. So there's the sucralose. So the sucralose will cause a spike in your insulin levels. I believe I read that. Yes, sucralose will cause a spike. The whole idea behind fasting is you do not want to spike your insulin, because if you do, the stop sign comes up on the freezer. Remember that analogy, the freezer and the fridge? The stop sign comes up on the freezer saying don't burn fat, burn carbs, until the insulin is, because your body goes into insulin production mode to burn off the sucralose to use it for energy. But it's such a small dose that it's like bam, bam. But it's enough to shock your fasting phase. So I haven't been using that. I haven't been using sweeteners in the coffee. I haven't been, like, apparently you can use xylitol, because xylitol just, you piss it out. Like it's absorbed and pissed out right away. But I find erythritol gives coffee a weird taste. Like, it's great when I made the fat bombs. It gave that a nice good taste. The pink fat bombs, the not the ones with the protein whey powder. The cheesecake fat bombs. They gave the fat bomb a nice sweet taste and complemented the strawberries well. But in coffee, it gives it almost I licked a 9-volt battery taste. So I tried it. I wanted to see what it would do the one day, and not while we started this fast. It was a while ago, because I was thinking, you know what, I'll just buy erythritol and use that for everything if it's so much better and it's not going to cause insulin spikes. Now, they do recommend using stuff like Splenda or aspartame, but the problem is with Splenda and aspartame is it destroys the microbes in your stomach. And not just the bad ones, the good ones too. This is a problem. It also has a bunch of other health de-benefits, if you will, non-benefits, dangers. So aspartame is a big time bad no-no. But if you have to drink soda, you're probably better off to drink a Diet Coke versus a Coke if you're doing a fast, because they say Diet Coke will not break your fast, obviously, because it's full of aspartame. Yeah, I just say stay away from soda completely because it's garbage. Partially the reason why obesity is a thing nowadays. A lot of the foods that are being sold in grocery stores is the reason why obesity is a thing nowadays. And yeah, it's, you know, it took me a while to, you know, a lot of the weight gain for me was depression, because I just didn't care anymore. And And all of a sudden I realized that maybe I should start caring. Maybe I should smarten up, and maybe I should do something. And like, I'm impressed physically with the way I feel right now. I'm impressed. 265, that's a nice number. If you think about it, back in March, when did I start this? I started this back in May. I didn't talk about it till June. But back in March, April, I was 325 pounds. I couldn't mow my lawn. Like doing the front lawn, guys, I kid you not. I would get halfway done and my right leg was numb because I had so much top heavy weight that it was actually causing a nerve or something in my spine to get just jacked, that it would cut off blood or something to my leg, and I would literally be zombie walking for the rest of the lawn mowing because I didn't want to stop and take a break and then get back at it because, you know, neighbors are outside and if they see that, they'll be like, what a loser, he can't even do his freaking lawn. Not that I care about being judged because, you know, I make YouTube videos so I get judged daily, but what it was more or less was I just didn't feel like showing that sign of weakness. I wanted to push through. In my mind, if you can push through and do it, the next time you do it, you're going to get through it better, right? Well, not if you have a health situation. And me, it was obesity and basically my gut compressing my spine. Now I'm pretty sure if I went out there and pushed that mower, which we're going to do tomorrow because today's bullshit day out, but tomorrow's supposed to be sunny, so we'll get out there tomorrow and we'll mow that back lawn. Maybe I'll do it while Oreo's gone to get his hairdo, because holy crap does he ever need it. I want to do the lawn and then I want to come in and vacuum up all of his fur, which means today I should take apart that vacuum and clean out the filter system because he plugged it. Oh yeah, he plugged it. Between him and her, Scamper isn't too bad though. I can easily groom her. I want to buy that glove thing from Amazon. It's like you put it on, it's like a rubber glove with like bristles on it, and as you pet the kitty, it pulls all the loose fur off because she's shedding a lot, but her fur is so short and fine that it's not as bad. But like Oreo, like it's like tumbleweeds coming off of him. It's so brutal. So I can't wait for him to get his hairdo, and then he'll be all cleaned up and stuff, and no more poop stuck to bum, and good times. Yeah, today I don't know what I'm gonna do. I know I want to rock some cardio at some point in the day, and definitely I want to play some video games today. I just want to chill out and play video games. I was thinking about buying that new Spider-Man game for PlayStation. I don't know. I don't think I want to because it's like $60 and that's for a digital download. And in my mind, I thought the whole point of digital download was reduce the cost of the game because we're not including a plastic box, a DVD, and a owner's manual. Like, it's literally just datas, but you're selling the datas for the same cost of me going to Walmart and buying the hard copy. So I personally would rather have the hard copy because then when I beat it, if there's no replay value, I can just dump it on Kijiji and recoup some of my cash. I don't know, man. Digital downloads, they're not really worth it anymore. Well, except for on Steam. That's just badass. But you get deals on there. Well, after I ended the last scene, I got a text message or a Facebook message, I should say, from Rex. It's his birthday today, so he was over at the Hortons with his daughter, and his girlfriend was there too, but she had to go back to work, and he's like, hey man, what are you up to? Why don't you come down to the Hortons? So I went out to the Hortons and had green tea, and we sat around and chatted. Had a good time. Went to the new North Bay Honda. Like, I don't know if you guys followed me for a while. It used to be across the street from the Hortons, and now it's actually further away. And the new store is awesome. I wish I would have brought my camcorder and filmed that because they had a lot of cool stuff in there. Some side-by-sides and some quads and some bikes and all sorts of really cool stuff. And then as we're leaving, we see them taking a scrap haul to the scrapyard. What's sitting in the back of the truck? A Honda Big Red. Frig's sakes. I would have caught the guy. I could have been like, tell you what, I'll give you what's in my wallet for that. Because they're probably only going to get like maybe $30 at the scrapyard for a Big Red. Let's face it, the majority of the weight in those things is probably the tires and rims. Like, they're light trikes. And it'd be nice to have a little shitter to bring out to Redbridge and go riding with Rex. Now, obviously, anybody who's followed me in the past remembers my bad luck with a Big Red. The one that I bought it off of Rex, got it running, got it going, got it working, and then the shifter slipped. The teeth on the shifter just didn't work anymore. We tried fixing it, and then I sent it to that guy to fix, and he ended up breaking it even more and cracked the engine block and all that shit. And then I ended up selling it off for like $200 just to get rid of the damn thing. Ever since then, I never had anything off-road except for the mini bikes. Well, it'd be kind of cool to pick up another trike, even though I wouldn't have much time to use it, but it'd be kind of neat. I could just store it outside and tarp it. Wouldn't have to put it in the garage. Wouldn't use it much in the winter. I would just use it in the summer. Like, it'd be easy to load into the truck, drive it out to Rex's. He's got a bunch of trails out there. And then, you know, when we're done for the day, drive it in the back of the truck and bag it up and call it a day. Go out romping. So I'm looking around online at them and stuff, and it would have been awesome if I could have picked that one up off the guy for like $100 because it looked like it was all there. It's the way she goes, man. It's the way she goes. It'd be nice to get a quad too, but those things are spendy. And they had some nice quads there. And it's now raining out. It just started raining. So luckily tomorrow's supposed to be nice. So what we'll be able to do is tomorrow we'll be able to mow the lawn. How am I feeling right now? Pretty good. I'm going to tell you guys one thing about salt water is it does help curb your appetite and calm it the frig down. So if you are doing a fat fast and you want to keep your appetite under control, salt water. Just 2 tablespoons of salt inside of some water. That's what I'm putting in here. You probably don't want to go so heavy if you're drinking glasses of water, but this is a 52-ounce Bubba keg, so some salt water really helps curb the appetite. Alrighty, well, it's 5 o'clock. I'm going to go smash some cardio. Probably going to do some weight training. It's going to be brutal, but it's the way she goes. Let's see how it goes, and I'll report back what my findings are while fasting and doing workout like that. It's going to be a lot more intense than walking. So it's about 7:30 p.m. right now, and I finished my exercise. Went down at 5. I did some Bowflex. That was rough, and then I did some cardio, and that wasn't too bad. The reason why I said the Bowflex was rough was normally I was bench pressing. I put 90 on each rod, 90 on each rod. I'd run the 50, the 30, and the 10 rod. Just the motions of pressing, I was shaking. I was shaking going up, and if you're shaking, it's because you got too much weight and your body just can't. So I lowered it down to 80. Still shaking. I went, shit. So I lowered it down to 70. Still shaking. Lowered it down to 60. I had perfect form. So I was like, wow. On this fast, I got to push about 2/3 of my regular weight. That's pretty brutal. But then again, what do you expect? So I got through the workout. I just put in some extra reps at 60. I did bench. I did overhead shoulder presses. I did rowing. I did lay down lats. Then I proceeded to do sit-ups. Now this is kind of neat. Normally I do sit-ups and leg lifts, and when I do them, I usually get a really massive stomach cramp to the point where it's practically like you're immobilized until that goes away. I was able to do easily 50 sit-ups and 50 leg lifts and never triggered that response. Normally I would get about 20 in, and then she'd lock and I'd be screwed for about 5 minutes laying on the bench with Oreo attacking me. He's not really attacking me. He's probably more concerned because I'm like, oh, laying there in pain and stuff. That's an interesting thing that I found. Now doing the cardio, that was a different. I felt like I could really go. And I also forgot I changed my Fitbit app, the intensity on my interval training, because I haven't done cardio since I made the change. And I mentioned that on my previous video that I was going to up the intensity. I had it set to, 20 seconds of go and 40 seconds of no. And I upped it to 25 seconds of go and 35 seconds of no. And I was able to do that no problem. And my heart rate stayed way up in the 135, 138 and held for no problems. I didn't feel dizzy like I did before. I felt actually really good doing it. And then after the 10 minutes was up, I basically ran another 5-minute hit just to see what would happen. So after doing all the hit training and the workout, I'll show you here on the Fitbit app what we're sitting at, and you can be the judge. So there's what I've done today. I've climbed the steps 12 times. Resyncing. Yeah, we're syncing still. 1 second here. Wait for that to finish. Okay, we're good. So there we go. Climbed the steps 12 times. We're at 2,895 calories and 43 minutes on the exercise for today. Not as good as yesterday, where we did 3,900 calories, 68 minutes of exercise, but a lot of that was walking. I didn't do any walking today, well, barely any, because of, well, it's freaking raining outside. It's garbage weather right now. Tomorrow will be different. It's supposed to be sunny all day, and I want to do the lawn. I'm going to use a tractor in the backyard because that lawn is thick, but I'm going to be using the push mower in the front yard. And then, yeah, it should be pretty good. Also watching a documentary on YouTube called Fit to Fat and Back by Paul P.J. James. This is actually pretty good. Basically, the premise of this whole ordeal is Buddy's a fitness trainer at a gym, And he had a guy who just kept calling off his training sessions. And he's like, come on, man, if you just do what I say for 6 months, or for 3 months, or whatever the case may be. No, it was, yeah. He said, if you just do what I say for 6 months, you'll be fit. And the guy said, if you lived like me for 6 months, you'd understand why I don't want to come back. So he's like, okay. So basically he's going from 80 kilograms up to 120 kilograms and back. And he's going to take 6 months to build up the fat, and then 6 months to burn it all off and get back to where he was. And it's kind of interesting to watch. It's pretty good. I've been really on this like working out and eating right craze lately. At least this is a good addiction to get into, eh? Unlike back in 2009 when I got into a camera addiction. God, that was a lot of wasted money. Alright guys, well, I have a feeling that having those... Well, I had one of those salt waters this morning, and then after my workout I made another one, and I have a feeling that might have reversed the process. Also, I came downstairs to check on my fat bomb count. Didn't have any, I just wanted to check on them. And yeah, we were running low. So I remedied that problem by making another batch. However, my new protein powder is not that great for fat bombs. They look fine, but in the bottom of the pot there was a lot of granulars. That protein powder really had an issue binding to the coconut oil. Like, you can't really tell from the top, it looks pretty good, but when you flip them over on their sides, you can see that everything went to the bottom. And on the bottom, it looks like it's covered in dirt, but that's what the protein powder looks like. It's cookies and cream. Yep. Anyway, I weighed myself before and I wasn't impressed because it looks like I gained weight. How, I don't know. I'm blaming it on the salt water, but let's step on the scale. We'll get our final here. So somehow I went up a bunch of pounds. I don't understand it. I'm blaming it on the salt water. So tomorrow we're going to try a new strat. Today was the first day I tried the salt water. You know what, guys? These new fat bombs aren't too bad. Today's progress, we went in reverse. Started off good, turned out bad. And I'm going to blame it on the salt water. So I'm pretty sure that caused water retention. Now, obviously, I'll drop that and then we'll be okay. But I guess we'll see what tomorrow brings. All right, guys. See you tomorrow for day 4 of the 5-day fat fast. Day 4 of the fat fast. Well, I just weighed myself before I even had the camera, and it was down to back where I was yesterday, 365.6. See what happens if I hold the camera and weigh myself. But I was just 65.6 without the camera. Like I said, the camera throws things off. So the camera weighs like a little bit. Today we got to bring the dog to the pet store because he's getting a haircut, and I want to try and cut that lawn. That's my two plans of attack. Now I've already made myself my fat coffee. I came downstairs and did that right away because I wanted to let the dog out. So I want to make sure he goes for a good shit, because every time I bring that little bugger to the pet store, he either pisses or shits in there. It's getting on my nerves. Nothing more embarrassing than your dog squatting a loaf and people thinking that he's not even house trained. Sometimes I question if he is. Good old fat coffee. Come on, bulletproof mode, engage. Well, we got about a half an hour before Oreo goes and gets a haircut. Can't freaking wait, like, honestly. Oreo, look at this muppet. He shakes because he's so fluffy and his fur's driving him nuts. So he looks like this now. Wait till you see what he looks like when he's done. You doing construction outside or something? Anyway, Google weather states that today should be sunny and 19 degrees. It's currently cloudy and not 19. Temperature down here is freaking fantastic. Check this out, guys. 67 degrees. Love it. Also, that clock is wrong, but I can't set it because the thermostat buttons don't work. I need to get my furnace guy in here and talk about putting in I want to put a Nest in. Those Nest thermostats. Mainly because then I can use my Google Home to monitor it and control it. And I can do that from afar. Alright, well, it's time to bring this guy here to the pet store. Get him a haircut. He doesn't know what's going on. He's just super excited to put his leash on him. Alright guys, let's go to the pet store. I got Oreo here. Fluffier than frig. Frig, I forgot my friggin' USB stick again. Oh, your breath. Jesus, Murphy, dude. Been eating your poop again? Holy. Holy, really, bud. Okay, you gotta, not. You gotta just gotta look at that piece of something. So excited that he's getting shaved, guys. It's It's been a long time coming. Would you get the frig out of my face right now? My goodness. You like driving in the truck? Making all these monkey sounds? Should have put a towel down on that chair before I put him in here. Oh, just relax. I gotta pet him because he's getting all antsy-pantsy. So the North Bay mayoral elections are coming up, and I haven't done any of my research on who I want to win and who I want to vote for. I just know who I don't want to win. And that's the same putz who didn't give me a chance at his shop when I applied for a job there. He just overlooked me. So that guy can go frig himself. And if you're watching, you know who you are, you sumbitch. It doesn't matter, I got a better job now. That job would have paid shit anyway. So here's hoping I can bring Oreo in there and no accidents happen. I.e. he doesn't shit the freaking floor in the pet store. Because that's what I don't need again. Because that's friggin' awesome. Gotta love that, eh? Bring your dog to the pet store and get him cut. And last time though, I think what happened was a little girl came over and saw him and started petting him. And he's nervous around children. Like, it's not that he'll bite or anything, but he just doesn't know how to treat them. So he just, you know, goes with the flow, and as long as they don't hurt him, he'll play it cool. But I'm pretty sure if something would have happened where the girl would have pulled his fur or something, maybe he might have snapped. But he got nervous and he just like kangarooed up and shit the floor. Like, that was his defense. Kind of like how a skunk sprays that stink juice. Oreo just takes a massive dump. My dog's dicked. But we'll get him into the pet store there and they'll shampoo him up and clean him up and make him look like a puppy again. And maybe they can do something about that breath. Oh, I've been excited for this day for a while. It was supposed to happen in November, guys. Like, that's how bad booked it was. And like I said in a previous vlog, I went to the pet store to get Oreo some more food. And sure as shit, I went to the back where the groomer was and said, hey, you don't by chance have any openings coming up, any cancellations that occurred? And they said, actually, we do. Why? I said, well, I'm on the list for November. Can we get that bumped? And they had 2 time slots today. They had 12 and 3. And I said, yeah, let's get him in for 12. Let's get him in for noon. Let's get this friggin' mop shaved. Because Jesus Murphy, does he need it? You guys seen him in the videos? He looks like a freaking caterpillar right now. I don't even think he has legs. He just kind of moves across the ground like a short snake. A short floofy snake. Holy, you're really close to my head right now. Jesus Christ. That face. Oh, you're such a turd. You're such a little turd, dog. You stink like a turd anyway. Like, is this the slowest moving GMC on the planet Earth? Bud, the pedal on the right makes you go faster. Holy frig. Guy was just idle crawling. Like, I know Chevys are slow and all, but like, you don't have to prove it. I used to own a Chev and I could make it do the speed limit. What the hell is your problem? Careful. Would you just sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down. He's like putting his foot in the cup holders and tripping all over the place and just, you can't sit still. Maybe I should have buckled him up, eh? Like put him in the seating position and strapped him in so he can't move. Jesus Murphy, this dog. Hey, Dollarama, did they actually move? It's been a while since I've been here. It's been 2 weeks and that sign wasn't there 2 weeks ago. Holy crap, I got the heat on in here and I really don't need that. You gotta get down, you're gonna get hurt again. I don't think he got hurt last time. He just almost fell down on the floor. Which is where I wish he would stay, but you're such a special little dog, you know that, right? You're such a special case. Oh, you like the motorcycle beside us? Want to go for a ride on that next? Want to go for a motorbike ride, Oreo? Okay, no, you can't be up there. Sitting on the center aisle. That's not for dogs. It's got like burlocks in them and stuff, or burdocks. Now he's just confused. He's like, where are we? What is this? What's happening? Like, he doesn't mind going to the vets either. Party City, what the hell is that? I wonder if this Dollarama's open. I might take a tour over there after I drop him off and just check to see if... Oh no, it's all locked up. There goes that idea. I'm probably gonna go to Staples and look at some mice. Whether or not I buy is another story, but I'm definitely gonna have a look-see and see what options are available, because I tried out my other mouse, my Naga, and it's frigged too. You click once and it double clicks, and I forgot, that's the reason why I bought the Logitech mouse for the gaming PC, was because that mouse was acting up too. Anyway, shut her down, let's go get him cut. And we're back. Oreo, come on. See, look, he's all shaved now. Oh, he's so fluffy. He looks like a different doggy. Hey, you gotta get down there though, because you're gonna fall if you're there, and you're gonna go into the back, and then you gotta stay down though. let's get out of here, bud. Let's go home. You got some fresh food out. Got some cookies at home and stuff. Oh, you want the window down a little bit? I'll open the window for you. Oh, man. Well, that's said and done. Definitely looks like a little puppy now. He went from being a poofy, fluffy fooball. He's even got a little bow tie on the back of his head. It's like they wrapped him like a present. We wrapped your present, puppy. Well, guys, I tried something different with the water today. And so far, the results are pretty good. I filled up my jug, my 52-ounce jug, and I put apple cider vinegar, 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar into it, and then stirred it around, and it made the water taste not good. But what I've noticed is every time I pee, I drop like 0.2 pounds. So that's good. You guys can see Oreo right now, just staring at the peoples. Who's your buddy? Who's your deboosh? You can't be up here though, you're gonna get hurt. Can you lay down? Too much stuff you wanna look at? Oh, you wanna go to Harvey's? You wanna? No. Oh, that's the one problem with the truck, eh? Having that bench in the middle that he can climb onto. Mind you, it was no better in the G6 when he would just climb over top of the automatic shifter and sometimes kick it into neutral. I remember back in the day of having Sammy, she did that by accident once. When we were dropping her off at her new home. I missed the turn. Well, I was gonna miss the turn, and the ex was like, no, there's the turn. And I went, oh crap, and I hammered on the brakes, and she was in the back seat of the G6. Sammy was, that is. And she came flying through the center into the console, and she slammed the car into neutral, which helped me stop that much quicker probably, but I went to get on the gas and realized there was no power, and I was just dry revving the engine, so I just had to pop it back into drive and carry on. But poor puppy. My cars are dangerous for doggies. His fur feels so good. He's such a soft puppy. It's like petting a cat. Except for this one barks. So yeah, back on that apple cider vinegar thing. I did some research on it because I wanted to see, like, the guys on Keto Connect, they have it. And there's a lot of people who did the apple cider weight loss thing, where they drink the beverage that I'm drinking. Well, actually, they add 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar to 8 ounces of water, and they drink that. 1 to 2 of those a day. Now, I add 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar to 52 ounces of water, which means my concoction's a lot more diluted, but I'm not really sipping my shit either. I'm kind of chug-a-lugging. Even at that much dilution, it's still pretty bad. It's like you still know that you're drinking apple cider vinegar. It's very, very apparent. Now, the reason why it helps with weight loss is because it helps control the blood sugar. So when you're on a ketosis-based diet, you know, like if your blood sugar spikes, your insulin gets injected and your body's told no longer to burn fat, start burning carbs. And the whole objective is to burn fat so you can lean yourself out. So I've noticed that since I started drinking that stuff, I've been peeing and losing like 0.2 pounds per piss, which is kind of neat. So I'm hoping tonight's results, I still haven't done cardio. I haven't done shit, guys. I got home and I just started researching, and it's already almost 5 o'clock. Like, I just been, and then the Trailer Park Boys game got a new mission update. So I've been playing that. My buddy wants me to play PlayStation with him tonight, so I might jump on there tonight and see what's going on. But I'm hoping the weigh-in tonight, the results are fantastic, because yesterday was a huge setback, and that kind of discouraged me there for a minute. But then I realized, it's definitely got to be the salt water cocking over the program. Let's just not do that anymore. But then this morning I was right back on track again, so it's okay. Hey, you don't learn unless you experiment, right? And that's the problem, is a lot of people are afraid to experiment because people on YouTube, like the audience, will call them a fucking idiot. Oh, you're a stupid idiot, you shouldn't be doing that, or they always get judged by that one individual on YouTube. So a lot of people aren't willing to experiment with stuff, and I don't understand why people got to be so critical towards others, because chances are they're probably not in that great a shape themselves. Like, if you're at least trying to better your life, and the individual who is talking shit on you is just sitting around eating bags of potato chips on the couch watching YouTube and Netflix, then who are they to judge? But a lot of people will just not bother trying different things because they're too afraid of getting ridiculed by the audience. But then again, that's also the same reason why I haven't shown you guys me in my swim shorts, workout shorts friggin' shot yet, because no, don't need to. Don't need to. The scale is more than enough. You see it sitting on hardwood, you know it's not being faked. If it was on carpet, that'd be different, because apparently you can put padding underneath it on a carpet and really frig over the sensors and cause it to misread lighter. But that is not the case for me. I'm not doing this to trick you guys. I'm doing this so I can be lighter and I can feel better and I can do more. And you know what? There's something else I want to talk about when we get home. And hopefully it makes a lot of sense to you guys as to why the Trans Am never got painted. Man, this dog smells good right now. I don't know what kind of shampoo they used on you, buddy, but it's the good kind. They used the good kind on you. You smell fantastic right now. Yeah, you do. You don't stink like your usual self. I think they even did something to your teeth because breath is minty. What did they do? Get you to gargle some Colgate or something? What the frig, bud? Oh, careful. Careful. I say careful. Why are you not careful? Just looks at you with that concerned look on his dome. Oh, what a dog. Yeah, no, you're stepping on my dart. Okay, you can't do that. All right, let's get him in the house. Seriously, look at the bow tie on him. Isn't that cute? Who's the puppy? Look at him, he's all shaved and fluffy. Okay, I gotta get him in the house, he's getting anxious. All I can hear is Scampers meowing inside the door. Oreo's taking a big festering dump over there. Well guys, I said I was going to talk about why I didn't paint the Trans Am this year. I think I'm going to save that for a later vlog. Right now what I need to do, go downstairs, rock a piss, rock some cardio. Let's get after it. Alrighty people, we went to play friggin' PUBG. It's about 11 o'clock at night right now. And I figured we'll take a piss and let the dog out, because he probably has to go outside and I need to rock a piss. So let's do that. So today's calorie count's a little weak, but it is what it is. So let's see what the weight is like. Survey says 164.6. Now keep in mind that's with the camera. Let's see what it's like without holding the camera. So as you can see, the camera adds an extra pound. 236.6 without the camera. All I did there was I put the camera down on this old computer that I got to take to the scrapyard. Weighed, then bent over and picked it up and shot it. That's what I should have been doing this whole damn time. I didn't realize this camera weighed an extra pound, so that also threw my stats off. But there you go, 263.6. That's where we're at now from 270. We had that little mishap yesterday with the salt water. We learned our lesson. Not gonna do that again. So once I'm back to eating food, there is a way to get electrolytes through your food, and that's just by eating some sodium-based food. It's just I had some cramping pretty bad yesterday, and I was like, holy crap, I gotta do something about this. Solution was that I found online was add some sea salt to your water and down the hatch. Probably shouldn't have had a sea salt beverage at 52 ounces. I probably should have just mixed a little bit of salt in with some water and just chugged it and got it out of my system. But then again, would that have made a real big difference, right? So anyway, that's where we sit today. Tomorrow is the final day. Then afterwards, I'm breaking the fast, and I'm just going to carry on and start introducing some regular foods. Which, surprisingly enough, after doing it for 4 days, guys, I'm not really that hungry. It's not saying that I want to go longer. You should only go for 5 days tops, 7 days max, as per what they say. As for a water fast, no thanks. That's not going to happen. Yeah, all in all, feeling pretty good. Feeling pretty good. So I broke the plateau. Because remember, guys, I've been stuck at like 270, and it was slowly going down. It was bouncing around. It was going up and down, up and down, up and down. Oh, yeah, and the best part about all this is, remember I showed you on the beginning of this thing how much beer I had in the fridge? Well, that hasn't changed. Haven't touched any of it. Still got the, 12, 17 cans in there. Didn't drink once. I've been off for 2 days now. Tomorrow's the 3rd. Haven't touched a single can of beer. And you know what's funny? I don't even miss it. But I'm probably going to have a couple on Sunday. You know, why not? I'm allowed to enjoy myself every once in a while. There, people. We're going to end today, right now, and tomorrow is a new day, and the last day. So let's pitter-patter and have at her, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Oh, hey there, people. How the frig's it going today? Day 5 of 5. Last day of the Fat Fast. And how am I feeling today? Well, not too bad, not too bad. It's about 12:18 p.m. right now, and we are going to get our weigh in. Today we are starting at 261.8. 261.8. Made myself a BP coffee. Good old bulletproof. Now, I do expect, they've all said it on who do the fat fast, when you break your fast, like actually start eating food again, you do put on a couple extra pounds, but it's not really that big of a deal. So, as long as these 5 days weren't worthless, you know what I mean? Like, as long as it's not like, oh, I just lost 9 pounds and all of a sudden I go back to eating after properly breaking the fast and all that, and then I get heavier. That would just suck. Alright guys, I'm going to make myself another coffee. This is not going to be a bulletproof coffee. This is going to be a straight up black coffee. And that's something that this fat diet taught me to do, because you got to watch it with artificial sweeteners, or sweeteners in general, because even stevia has, well, sorry, not stevia, but like erythritol has a glycemic count, and any sort of glycemic count, even though they counted 1 on the scale, like sugar's 33, aspartame is 0, but you probably really shouldn't ever intake aspartame because it's super freaking bad for you. But anything with a glycemic load will trip your insulin and break your fast. This is how I make sure I get all the coffee. Just give her a good whack. For some reason the Keurig works better. Not sure why, but I need a new Keurig. I've had that one for a while though. That's one that my ex got me for Christmas back in 2012. So yeah, I definitely need a new Keurig. So I'm gonna make myself another coffee here and drive that in my face. I gotta reload my water bucket here because she's empty. See, it doesn't fill the cup completely, and if I don't smack it, I get half of that. I've already ran a bunch of the cleaner through it. I think I might have used all the cleaner, to be honest, because I don't see it anywhere. I used to put it on top of the fridge. I didn't jam it in the pantry, did I? No, that's the stovetop cleaner, which I seldomly use. Yeah, I have no idea where the hell I put that. So I must have used it all. Because they said it diluted in water, and I was like, screw that noise. This thing's filthy. I'm going to run the whole bottle straight through, no dilution. And then I ran 2 containers of water through it to try and wash everything out. And my next coffee still tasted like vinegar. So yeah, I have no idea where the hell that carp went, but whatever. But something that people might be wondering is, when you're fasting, do you still take a dump? And guys, you still take a dump, but I'm warning you right now, if you thought your poos were stinky before, your poos while fasting will blow your freaking nose buds out. The stank was something else that I couldn't even describe. It was like, normally when I'm in there and I'm laying logs, Oreo usually sits outside the door, and you can see, let me turn on the light here. You can see that there's light coming in front of the door, right? Well, should I turn it off there? You can see that there's just darkness. Well, when you're in the bathroom, you can see that light. Except for Oreo will lay down at the base of the door, because I don't want him in there while I'm pooping, because he tries to climb on your lap, and nothing more distracting while you're dropping a loaf is a dog sitting on your lap, panting and trying to lick your face. That's just weird. So he's laying outside the door. Well, the past couple days he'd be laying there, and all of a sudden he just gets up and leaves as I'm in there just trying not to dry heave, because wow, the smell is unpleasant. But I have a feeling it's also detoxing me, and a lot of the crap that's been in me over the years of my amazing previous diet are now making their way out, and yeah, feels great. So I don't know, I'm kind of anxious to start eating again, start eating better. And then I think in about a month what I might do is I might go talk to Doc about doing a colon cleanse, an actual colon cleanse, something that actually reinforces the perfect cleansing of the colon, so that I can basically detox even harder, because that sounds like a great idea, and to basically get my body back to normal. Because let's face it, you guys seen the shit I used to eat, you guys seen what I used to do. It was pretty gross, it was pretty bad, and I should probably maybe consider getting all that taken care of. But I feel great today. I'm not even hungry, which is weird. It's day 5. All I've been having for the past 5 days is a fat coffee in the morning and maybe a fat bomb here or there. And sometimes the fat bombs, if I'm really hungry, I'll just take a tablespoon, which still has some on it. That's that coconut oil. I'll take a tablespoon of that and drive that in my face and just down the hatch. Add some fat to the process. But other than that, no food, straight water and black coffee and green tea with no sugar. And it's been pretty good. I don't have any green tea here at the house. I wanted to pick some up the other day when I went and bought some stuff at the store. I went to, that's when I bought the ghee, and I had to buy some shit tickets because I ran out. That's what I did. And I forgot to buy what I wanted. But I need to buy some avocados because I have a feeling that tomorrow my first meal is going to be eggs and guac because that's pretty light. That's not going to happen right away. Basically, I'm going to wake up, have a bulletproof coffee, and then let that simmer down for about 3-4 hours. And then I'm going to go in light with some eggs and guac, and then let that simmer down. And hopefully, by Sunday, I should be able to actually take on some meat, because Sunday is going to be a good day. A good day indeed. Oh, I just went and took a dump. And I almost wanted to have a shower afterwards, but I had to turn on the fan in there because the smell was bad. But don't you love it when it's like you're done and it's time to wipe up? You grab the teepee and you pull it down to get some parts off, and what rolls out? A wolf spider about this big. I'm not afraid of spiders by any means necessary, but when you're not expecting one to be there and it shows up, it kind of makes you jump back and go, what the frig? And I swear the thing was just looking at me like do we have an issue? Like, I don't know if it would have fought me, but I did get bit right there. Do you see those marks? That's a spider bite. I'm pretty sure a wolf spider did it. They get pretty big in this house, probably everywhere else too. And I was told they don't bite humans, but that's obviously a lie, because that's definitely a spider bite. And I've had those marks there now for a couple weeks. They don't seem to be going away. Well, they're slowly healing, but freaking was not expecting that. And there it was, like, if that would have been my ex, or probably 95% of the human population, they probably would have let out a super scream. Yeah, spiders in this house, very, very common. The cat likes them though, she eats them. You know what else is disturbing, guys? So I've been watching a lot of McJuggernuggets lately because he's got this new series going where he's going to Los Angeles. And he's got his cameraman, Swift. You guys, maybe Swift UAV, whatever. New cameraman. Parker quit and they picked this guy up. Yeah, he does a good job. He's a funny guy. I don't mind him, I like him. But they're doing a fat loss thing with him too. So they gave him a weigh-in today, or on today's, not today's video, but the video that I watched today. Because now Jesse's leaving the house and he's gonna go to LA and stuff. But they gave him the final weigh-in and he was 262 pounds. And I'm like, but I look at the guy and he's a lot. Like, I actually, like, I have definition. Like, my arms don't hang. I don't have bingo wings. My legs have muscle on them. They don't just look like, chicken wings. I actually have these, like, really weird things going on in my thighs where there's like a bulge coming out from doing all the bike and the leg pressing and the rowing and all that. But then you look at him and this guy strips right down to his boxers and steps on the scale and he's 262 and I weighed in today at 261. So my only conclusion is the guy's got to be the same height as Jesse, like 5'4" or something. You can't be a tall dude because like I look at him and I look at myself and it's like it's a totally different picture. So like I'm 6'1". So he's got to be about like 5'5", 5'6", maybe. But still, it's like, I don't, but whatever. Everybody's different, right? I was like, what? This guy's lighter than me? How the hell is that possible? But then again, I forgot, it's how you hold the camera. Like, if I constantly film like this, if I walked around using one of these and filmed the camera high all the time, people would think I'm shorter. If you always film at a lower angle up, it gives that sense that, holy shit, this guy's tall. And I usually start off here, but then the camera slowly sags as my arm gets tired, right? So it all depends on how you film your shots. And it's funny because a couple of YouTubers that I have bumped into that I thought were tall because they're always aiming from an angle down here, like, hey guys, how's it going? And whenever they show a friend, they always angle the camera down so that, and they do some maneuvering with the lens to make sure the heads are side by each. And you don't realize that the guy that's in the shot with Buddy, like Buddy's like 5'5", and the other guy's like 5'11" or 6. but they both look the same height in the shot because of the way it's established. Yeah, camera, you can really do some magic with it if you know what you're doing. I'd love to learn cinematography. God, that'd be good. Maybe then I could shoot better videos. Well guys, I kept saying I was gonna do it. I still haven't done it. I'm gonna go out there and mow my lawn. I got the GoPro Hero 4 here all charged up, ready to rock. We'll set this up on the table, do a little time-lapse mowing. Pitter patter and have at her. We're done mowing the lawn. Yes, I'm a sweaty bitch. However, my lower back isn't killing me right now. I was able to do that whole front lawn, and I almost had to do the back with the push mower too. I didn't film that part, but I was turning the key for the tractor and it was going tuck, 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 which means like not enough voltage to spin the engine. And I could turn it by hand. Like I could put my hand on the top grill thing, I guess the flywheel, and I could spin that, and that was working. So then I was like, oh, I bet you the battery's friggin' dead. What am I gonna do? And then I forgot I got my booster kit out there. So I hooked my booster kit up, and I'm like, why is it not sending any juice to the freaking system? Like, what's really going on here? See, my old booster packs were just, you plugged a wire, like you plugged in your jumper cables into the booster pack, then you just hook them up and it was away she goes. This one here, the wires are always attached to the booster pack, so when you hook it up, you actually have to turn it on. I didn't know that at first, and then I saw on marché, and I was like, bang, yes, you gotta turn the friggin' thing on. I thought that was the on marché for the air pump on it. No, it's the on marché for the friggin' whole system to do its system stuff. So after I hooked up the booster pack, I turned the key, she fired up right away, and away she went. So I managed to, what? Oh, yeah. And I was just telling Church about what I had to do. There's a safety switch on that mower on the seat, and I had the seat up, right, because the battery's underneath the seat. And I'm cranking it, and she's spinning, but she wouldn't fire. And the reason being is because that switch was in the upward position. So I just put a piece of duct tape over it and pushed it down, and that solved that problem. So I was able to fire it with the seat up. Just make sure it's in neutral when you do that, so that when you do fire it up, it doesn't rip off down the road away from you, because that could have been interesting. That could have hit my truck. I'd have been pissed. But yeah, we got her all done, as you saw. Push mowing, like I said, I almost did the whole backyard with the push mower, which would have been kind of shitty because that backyard gets pretty dense in some areas, and the push mower does tend to bog down and 90% of the time stall out. So that's a thing. But all in all, I got a bunch of steps in today, and my heart rate while I was running the push mower was way up there. So it probably could have been a good idea. Probably definitely could have been a good idea. The only technicality I had while doing this was I was really thirsty. And I forgot to bring a bottle of water out with me because I'm stupid like that. So I've been drinking this. As soon as I got in the house, I took a great big swig of this, and I've been drinking more of it. I've got to stay hydrated, especially when you're on this kind of fat fast, because your body is going to go through water like crazy. But that's okay, I like water. So in the mower scene, you probably noticed that when I started mowing, I got off the mower and did something and got back on the mower. But what happened there was my neighbor's chair, they have like lawn patio chairs, those plastic kind that break when you lean back on them. One of them was in my way. It fell off their deck and landed in my yard. And sure enough, when I picked it up off the ground, I lifted it over my head and leaned it towards me, and there was a whole bunch of water in it. And sure enough, I got a little bit of a shower. I sure do go through a lot of ice in a day. Also, I'm probably going to revisit this again in a later video because I doubt anybody's watched this long in. Magix has released the new version of Sony Vegas, crying out loud, of Magix Vegas, because they acquired Sony Vegas back, I'd say a couple of years ago, and they just kind of didn't really do anything with it until they finally did something with it. And Magix Vegas 15 was the first year that Sony, or that NVIDIA NVENC cards actually had a benefit for rendering. You know, prior to that, it was either you had an AMD card or an Intel Sync card, like an Iris or something, or otherwise you could not take part in the benefits of GPU accelerated rendering, which sucked. Well, 2015 came out, and now NVENC was available, and all of a sudden my little Potato 8300 with the 960 in it all of a sudden started doing a 1.2 to 1 render ratio where I could bang out a video pretty damn quick, where before I was using Adobe Premiere because it supported NVENC and it would actually use the card and render fast. So that was pretty cool. I do say so myself. Well, I got an email from Magix, and because I bought 2015 off of Humble Bundle, actually I got an email from Humble Bundle about the parcel, about 2016. They've released Sony Vegas. I gotta quit calling it that. They released Vegas Pro 16, which has all the same features of 15, plus they've included a couple new doozies like motion tracking and face filtering. Motion tracking, people. I've been wanting motion tracking in a program forever. On Adobe Premiere, if you wanted to use motion tracking, you had to buy Premiere plus After Effects, because motion tracking only worked in After Effects. So you'd have to take your clip, import it into After Effects, do your motion tracking image, render it up, re-import it back into Premiere, and go. That's just a long ass step. That's what Hollywood video producers do, though, is they take that step, and that's time wasted. Like, you're not even doing anything in the rendering time. You're literally sitting around waiting for your computer to get done. And some of those edits can take a long time. This is why production is such a long process. Vegas now has it embedded right into the editor. That's pretty cool. And because I bought Vegas 15 through Magix, they're giving me 55% off on the product. So let's just say I had to indulge. So that's gonna add some new creativeness to the vlogs, to do some weird stuff. So that's gonna be kind of fun. I'm a little excited for that. So we'll have to see what we can do with motion tracking and face blurring and all that there later on. But of course, chances are people aren't watching this far in and have no idea what I'm talking about. Or maybe they already got 16, who knows? But we'll see anyway. So all I've been doing is editing, watching some YouTubes and just chilling out. It's about 5:30 p.m. now, and yeah, not too much going on. Just chilling on my last day. Tomorrow it's back to work, and I also have that meeting with the school board in regards to some project they want me to do that they didn't really give me much clarification on. So tomorrow they explain to me what they're looking to get done. Then it's up to me to come up with a solution for their problem. Good thing I'm good at that kind. I made another coffee. So, even though according to the Fitbit app, I've done 38 minutes of exercise today, I'm going to go run some cardio because I want to do some more. And I don't think of mowing the lawn as exercise, even though theoretically my heart rate was up there enough to trigger the Fitbit to say I was doing a workout. So, I'm going to go downstairs, run some cardio, probably do some weight training, and then we'll see what we see. Alright guys, I'll talk to you in a bit. Alrighty guys, it's well into the night. Look, you can tell it's darkness outside. That happens at nighttime. Didn't you know? Anyway, it's 8:30 at night, and I'm going to make myself another coffee, because I want another coffee. I also have the itchiest nose known to man right now. So, I did my workout. I did about 25 minutes of cardio when... Do you have water in you? Oh, you do, okay. When I looked down at my Fitbit, and it was just showing the Fitbit icon, that diamond pattern with the squares on it, because this is the second time now since I've gotten this damn watch that the watch crashed. And I don't know why it does that. When the watch crashes, you press and hold that button and that button for about 30 seconds, and the watch will reboot and fix itself. But if you're in the middle of a workout, you lose your stats. Now, of course, it doesn't matter to me if I lost my stats or not, because it's not like the watch governs how much calories I burn or what kind of an exercise I do. If anything, it just doesn't track the results, right? Well, I guess it was syncing while I was working out because some of the results are there, but not all of them. Like as far as the watch is concerned, my last workout was yesterday, and that's about it. So that kind of sucks, but that's just tracking, right? We already cleared our 30 minutes of workout today, so that's pretty good. Just giving the animals some water here. I don't know why this Fitbit keeps crashing the way it does, but it is what it is. Mind you, this is only the second time she's locked up on me, so that's not that big of a deal. So I'm just gonna make myself a black coffee. Have a... Do you actually have something dangling from your chain? Oh yeah, it's your rabies tag. I forgot about that. He's drinking water and you ting tang ting tang. I guess you, this feels weird just taking my coffee out of the Keurig and walking away with it. I'm so used to putting cream and sugar in it, and I haven't been doing that for the past couple of days. And you know what? The taste kind of grows on you. Yeah, going back to the ting tang from Oreo drinking water. I guess that doesn't happen very often when you're a furball, eh? Sure don't. So I'm just waiting around for Chutch. He's supposed to message me there, and we're gonna play some Battlefield 1 on Origin. Here's hoping, because I'm looking forward to gaming tonight. We couldn't play PUBG last night because the servers were under maintenance, so maybe tonight we can get some gaming in. Yeah, even my Vlogging Life shirts are a little baggy on me now. Before they used to be tight-fitting. Yeah, now they're not too bad. Not too bad indeed. Alrighty guys, it's 11:55 and it's time for that final weigh-in. That is right. Final weigh-in. We'll use the BMI meter that I used, or BMR meter, whatever the hell it's called, that I used on Saturday when we started this whole journey. And we'll see where we're sitting there too. Let me just get some more light on the situation here. Probably hear Oreo down below making a bunch of noise. Okay, let's do this. 10 pounds gone, boys. 10 pounds in 5 days. That is awesome. So every day I've been consecutively weighing myself. Just on the last 2 days is where I've been doing, like I said, putting my camera down on that computer, stepping onto the scale, weighing myself, picking it up before the light turns off, grabbing the digits. Because the camera weighs a pound and it throws off the scale. So, actually on the first day, I believe I did the weigh with the camera on. I can't remember how I did it the first day. But anyway, 9 pounds, 10 pounds, whatever. I'm calling it 10. 10 pounds gone. I've been 270. Like I plateaued there for a while. And that's the reason why I did this fat fast. Now, let's go upstairs and do the BMI reading to see what that throws. And then I want to have a chat about this whole experiment and what my difficulties were, so on and so forth. So let's go. It's gonna set you guys up here on the desk. So we'll go, there's me, we'll go set, 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 and yes, I have been trying this. Set, start, grip. Sorry for the bad lighting. So I'm at 30.6% fat and 34.3% BMI. Not exactly ideal, but that'll take time. So, as you saw there, I went 5 days. All I had to eat over those 5 days were a couple fat bombs here and there, and every day, every morning, I had one bulletproof coffee. That is it. Not a lot of calories though with the 5 days. Let's just do a little calculation here. So, I burned on average about 3,600 calories a day. So if we do the math on that, and I don't feel like doing the math on that, so I'm looking for my calculator app, which I have no idea where the hell they put it on this phone. So over the 5 days, I burnt 18,000 calories. Okay? Now what's nice about the Fitbit app is when you click on the actual thing, it shows you here on the side how many calories you actually used, or how much calories you actually consumed. So I took an average on my calorie intake, or my calorie exhaust. I just said 3,600. Yesterday I was at 35, but on Saturday and Sunday I almost banged out 4,000. That's why I'm doing it this way.
So on Saturday I did 251. Today I did 251, so that's 502. Tuesday and Monday is when I had those fat bombs, and that was about 1,300. Let me do the math here. So 1,344 calories or 48 calories. So 1,850 calories, and then another 390. So that's about 2,200. We'll say, and Saturday was 251 calories. So we'll say that we did about 2,500 calories in, 18,000 calories out over a period of 5 days. Now, something I wish I would have done prior to doing this whole experiment was researching fat fasting a little bit better. The only reason why I jumped on it is, like I said, my boss was doing it, and he really enjoyed it. He said it was great, but he, unlike me, did the research. He looked into it, he looked into what to do, when to do it, how you're supposed to do it, and the duration. He did 5 days as well, but he's also been doing keto for 2.5 years. I'm only 3 months in. Now, when he explained to me it's the greatest way, because I told him, I said, yeah, I'm still doing keto, but man, I plateaued. And he goes, what do you mean? And I said, well, I've been stuck at 270. I've been bouncing between 277 and 272 for a while, and every once in a while I see 270. Then it goes back up, and he goes, well, maybe you're not eating right. And I showed him the macros, and he goes, well, how honest is this? And I said, very honest. I document everything that goes in my mouth. And he went, okay. He goes, then maybe your body adapted to the diet, and maybe you need to shock your body. And he's like, look up fasting. He goes, I'm doing one right now. He called it the bulletproof fast, but it's actually called a fat fast. And it's where you do exactly what I did. Start off with a bulletproof coffee in the morning. And then you're allowed to have up to, and this is what I didn't realize. He just told me bulletproof coffees all day. That's all he was doing. But the way it works is you're supposed to take in anywhere from 500 to 1,000 calories a day. Or sorry, 250 to 1,000 calories a day of 90% fat, 90% fat, 8% protein, and no more than 2% carbs. If you can have no carbs, you're doing it right. That's what you're supposed to do in a day. I didn't know that until I started researching it on like day 2. At the end of day 2, I looked into it and went, oh my God, I'm doing this wrong. That's also the day that I looked up the cramping, because I was getting cramping in my body. My back, my shoulder after doing the presses off of the Bowflex. My back was really hurting. My shoulder was hurting. It was cramping up. It was brutal. And I'm like, well, how am I going to correct this? Like, I can't eat anything with sodium. And that's when I came across that drink. Adding salt to water, adding sea salt. Gotta be sea salt. Can't just put friggin' table salt in it. That's what they said, sea salt, because it'll boost your electrolytes and create that ionic bond between, whatever the case may be. There's a scientific for it. So I was like, oh, okay. Let's try that. And that's the day that I went from 265 to 268. Complete role reversal. And I was about ready to quit then. I was like, man, I just cocked over this entire experiment. And I was like, no, I can't quit. Because I told you guys in a previous video that I'm going to do this. And we're going to figure it out. So I carried on. And I wish I would have done more research before jumping into it. But then again, I've always been a bullheaded guy like this. I've always been like this, where I do something, I jump into a project with minimal knowledge, and I learn as I go, so that the next time I do it, freaking cars, so that the next time I do it, I'm aware of what to do and how to do it right. Now, I don't recommend anybody at home just jumping balls deep into this fat fast, especially if you haven't done keto before. I've been on keto now for about 3 months, And I should have only went for 3 days. That's it. 3 days. I went for 5. Now, today when I was mowing the lawn, I felt better than ever. I felt great. I didn't have any sluggishness in my walk. I didn't feel my back wasn't hurting. Everything was just hunky-dory, just perfect. I was so happy. Last time I used that push mower, like I said, I got halfway through my front lawn, had to stop and take a rest because my leg was numb because of all the front pressure crushing the back pressure and making the leg go numb. Also, the other day when I did the weight training, I said I had to lower the weights down. That's one thing I noticed on day 1 and day 2. I noticed I was a lot more fatigued. I was a lot more weaker. I didn't have the go that I normally have, and I think that was due to the lack of protein coming in. When I was supplementing with the fat bombs that I made with protein powder, that's when I noticed I had a little bit more go. Today, however, I didn't do the Bowflex. I just ran cardio and mowed the lawn. Yesterday was just cardio. The day before that was Bowflex cardio. The day before that was Bowflex cardio, and the day before that, actually no, Saturday and Sunday was just walking. Yeah, it was all done through walking. Monday was Bowflex cardio. Yesterday was Bowflex, or it was just cardio, and today was just cardio. Now, like I said, I wish I would have done more research, but I'm not going to count this out as a fail because, like, honestly, 10 pounds in 5 days? That's pretty good. Now, the big key here is, can I keep it off? Now, I do expect to gain some of the weight back when I introduced eating, but I got to go at it at a gradual pace. I can't just go out tomorrow and buy a steak and barbecue it and drive it in my face. That's going to be a bad time for the guts, right? You don't want to do that. And my boss already warned me. He said, get some MCT oil and have it on standby. Well, I got a great big tub of it downstairs, so we're fine. He also said, like, for your first meal, have something easy to digest, like eggs or, something fatty that isn't red meat. So no bacon and eggs. I can have scrambled eggs. That's fine. So yeah, I'm going to get back into eating. And the next time I plateau on weight loss, what I plan on doing, I'm just going to do a 3-day fat fast. Not going to go for the full 5. I don't need to. Even a 2-day fat fast. I've seen people online do that. Like, some people eat keto to maintain a healthy lifestyle. I'm trying to get down to a target weight, anywhere from 200 to 220 pounds. That's my goal. If I can hit that, nice. My doctor will be happy because he wants to see me at 190, 200. I told him 220. He went, that's still a bit heavy. All I want to really do is get rid of the gut. And I've noticed that since doing this fat fast, it has gone down. But like I said, there could be some repercussions when I start introducing food again. The other thing that's nice about this fat fast is it resets your body. And what I mean by that is your body's used to digesting shitty foods, right? So you got a bunch of crap built up inside of you. I took a lot of dumps while I wasn't taking in any food. And what was coming out was pretty freaking disgusting, to say the least. The smell was just atrocious. So when you're not eating anything, but stuff is still coming out, yeah, you're cleaning out your body. You're cleaning out your pipes. So now I can retrain myself to eat stuff. And a lot of people do a water fast, for instance, which a lot of you are like, oh, Adam, do a water fast. No. I'm not going to go that route. But a lot of you are saying, go ahead and do a water fast. A lot of people do the water fast. It's like if they get like an intolerance to a food that they never had before. Sometimes fasting can reboot your system and you don't have that intolerance anymore. You're fine. You can go ahead and eat that kind of food again. It doesn't affect you anymore. My whole goal with the fat fast was to break that plateau because I was getting such nice, 2 pounds a week, 2 pounds a week, 2 pounds a week. I started this journey at 325 pounds 3 months ago. I got to 270 and I couldn't breach it. And it was like, okay, what am I doing wrong? My macros are on par. I'm working out 30 minutes a day. What's really going on? And then I discovered it's your body. Your body's a computer. If you do the same thing every day with your body, like I mentioned earlier in this video, your body will adapt and it'll learn. And then it'll just stop changing. So that's where the fat fast comes in. I just confused my body. But now it's time to come back out. Let's see how that plays out. Now, I don't, like I said before, I highly don't recommend anybody out there trying this unless you've been on keto for a while. Unlike me, do your research. Don't take this video as research. Please don't. Because like I said, I've been learning as I go. And I'm not a doctor, obviously. Look, you can tell. I'm not a physician. I do recommend talking to your physician before attempting any sort of fasting. Because, you know, if you have medical conditions, you could probably kill yourself. And, well, that would suck. You don't want to do that. But all in all, for me, it was an interesting experiment. I definitely do feel different. I noticed some of the problems that went away that I was having was I've had this ache in my knee, and that's gone. I've noticed that, and it could just be because of water weight lost. My watch, I had to put it on a new hoop to keep it on my wrist because on the hoop I had it on, it was actually, it was sliding around a lot. So by doing that, that seemed to have fixed that problem. My size 38s, I can actually take the button, like here's the loop, here's the button, and instead of just hooking it, I can actually pull it along and get like a good inch or two over. So my size 38s, I might be able to fit in a size 36 now. But let's wait and see what happens after I eat food. Also, these Vlogging Life shirts, you can see a bunch of wrinkles on it because it doesn't really fit that great. But I refuse to buy new clothes until I hit my target weight. Because imagine going out, like, t-shirts are about, the good kind are about 15, 20 bucks a pop. Jeans are about $20 to $30 a pop. I like to have 4 pairs of jeans on hand and at least 7 t-shirts on hand at all times. That's like an easy $400 wardrobe. I might have over-exaggerated on the price because right now math is not my thing. But what I'm getting at is I don't want to buy clothes now and then hit my 200-pound weight goal and have to go out and rebuy my clothes. So that's a thing. So I'm going to try and use what I have now to make it fit me and last me for a while. And if it gets down to it where it just doesn't, then let's go shopping, right? So anyway, people, this was the 5-day fat fast. Hopefully you enjoyed it. It was something. It was something else for me. Like I said, day 1 was a pain in the ass. Day 2 was a semi-pain in the ass. Day 3 was a big-time demotivator. Day 4 and 5, though, didn't ever think of food. I'm not even thinking of food today. Yeah, interesting. And tomorrow I'm going to break it. So, there we go. Anyway, people, coming up, I got some more videos, some stuff that happened during this here Fat Fast that doesn't actually pertain to myself, as in what I experienced. I covered all that. I also made it like a vlog style video because that's what I do. It's the vlogging life. I vlog my life. So basically, that's what I did. I vlogged the whole experience. I could have easily broken this down into 5 individual videos and farmed views, as some people call it, where you try to put out as much content as possible, generate as much views as possible, and hope to make as much more money as possible. But I figured, who cares about views? Let's just get this out there and make it one big video, one great big feature presentation. And I'm hoping you enjoyed it, if you made it this far through. And I understand if you didn't, because last time I was done editing, this video was 120 plus minutes long. So I understand if you gave up. I really do. But anyway, people, thanks for watching. Greatly appreciate it. We've still got a lot more work to go to hit that goal. Like I said, coming up, I got some other videos where talking about stuff that happened during this 5 days, that I didn't really want to include in this video because it didn't really pertain to it, even though I did include Oreo getting a haircut, mowing the lawn. And I'm sure there's some other junk in here that probably shouldn't even be in here, but it's in here anyway. So anyway, thanks for watching. Like, favorite, comment. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't do this experiment unless you've got don't do this experiment unless you got permission from a physician, or at least spoke to your physician prior to doing it. If you have medical issues, don't even give it a go. Don't even consider it, okay? And until next time, guys, peace the frig out.